सम्पूर्णमा नमस्कार। आजको यो संसिक सुरु गरौँ है।
हुन्छ।
सम्पूर्णमा नमस्कार। आजको यो संसिक कमन फोरम एपिसोड 11 मा म कार्यक्रम सञ्चालिका जयन्ती घिमिरे हार्दिक स्वागत गर्न चाहन्छु। सर्वप्रथम यस कार्यक्रममा गेस्ट स्पिकरको रूपमा पाल्नु भएको एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर डाक्टर नमराज धामीज्यूलाई हार्दिक स्वागत गर्न चाहन्छु। साथै यस कार्यक्रमको अध्यक्षता गरिदिनु हुन सन्सिक 18औं कार्य समितिको सभापति श्री दीर्घराज जोशीज्यूलाई अनुरोध गर्दछु। त्यसै गरी सन्सिक 18औं कार्य समितिको सम्पूर्ण पद अधिकारी ज्यूहरू, सम्पूर्ण विद्यार्थी वर्गहरू, अनुसन्धानकर्ताहरू तथा फेसबुक र जुमबाट यस फोरममा जोडिनु भएको सम्पूर्ण महानुभावहरूलाई सन्सिक कमन फोरम एपिसोड 11 ट्रान्सफर्मेसन अफ रिसर्च कल्चर इन पोखरा युनिभर्सिटी नेपालमा हार्दिक स्वागत गर्दछु। यसका साथै आजको कार्यक्रमको उद्देश्य र औचित्यको बारेमा प्रस्तुत गरिदिनु हुन सन्सिक 18औं कार्य समितिको सभापति श्री दीर्घराज जोशीज्यूलाई अनुरोध गर्न चाहन्छु।
धन्यवाद जयन्तीजी। सदा चाहिँ हामीले यो एपिसोडमा चाहिँ पोखरा विश्वविद्यालयमा अनुसन्धानको गतिविधि के हुँदैछ, विशेष गरेर नेपालमा चाहिँ अनुसन्धानकै जग बसाल्ने, संस्कार बसाल्नेका लागि चाहिँ केही ट्रान्सफर्मेटिभ रिफर्मका प्रयासहरू के भइरहेछन् भनेर संवाद गर्न चाहेर आज हामीले यसैसँग सम्बन्धित जुन भर्खरै दायित्व ग्रहण गरेर काम गरिरहनु भएको छ नमराज धामी सर, जसले विदेशका विभिन्न सोफिस्टिकेटेड ल्याबमा पनि अध्ययन अनुसन्धान अध्यापन गराउनु भएको छ लामो समयदेखि, उहाँसँग जोडिएर पोखरा विश्वविद्यालयको अवस्था सबै कुराहरू बुझौँ भनेर आज हामी छौँ। जो पनि यहाँ हामीलाई जुम विभिन्न माध्यमबाट जोडिएर फेसबुक लाइभबाट सुनिरहनु भएको छ, अन्तर्क्रिया गर्न चाहनेहरू जुमको भित्र आउन सक्नुहुनेछ, बाँकी साथीहरू बाहिर लाइभबाट पनि सुन्न सक्नुहुनेछ। त्यसैले यो कार्यक्रमको औचित्य चाहिँ त्यहाँको भइरहेको अनुसन्धानको गतिविधि, बाहिरका अनुसन्धाताहरू कसरी जोड्न सकिन्छ र विशेष गरेर बाहिर जो अनुसन्धान गरिरहनु भएका छ ती साथीहरूलाई नेपालमा मुभ हुनका लागि पनि हामी कस्तो वातावरण सृजना गर्न सक्छौँ, त्यो विषयमा पनि थोरै मुभ भएर आजको संवाद चल्नेछ भन्ने अपेक्षा गरेको छु। फेरि पनि सबैलाई स्वागत छ। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद। आजको गेस्ट स्पिकर आदरणीय गुरु डाक्टर नमराज धामीज्यूको एकाडेमिक कुरा गर्नु पर्दाखेरि उहाँले देश तथा विदेशमा आफ्नो अध्यापन गर्नुभएको छ। उहाँले बोटानीमा मास्टर टियुबाट गर्नुभयो भने वागेनिङ्गेन युनिभर्सिटी नेदरल्यान्डबाट प्लान्ट बायोटेक्नोलोजीमा डबल मास्टर अध्यापन गर्नुभयो र उहाँले प्लान्ट सेल एन्ड मोलिकुलर बायोलोजीमा वेस्टर्न सिडनी युनिभर्सिटी अस्ट्रेलियाबाट पिएचडी को अध्यापन गर्नुभयो। हाल उहाँ अहिले पोखरा युनिभर्सिटी रिसर्च सेन्टरमा एज अ एक्जिक्युटिभ डाइरेक्टर कार्यरत हुनुहुन्छ। अब भने म आदरणीय गुरु एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर डाक्टर नमराज धामी सरलाई माइक हस्तान्तरण गर्न चाहन्छु। के प्रब्लम आएको र?
इन्टरनेट केही प्रब्लम आयो जस्तो छ। जस्ट म फेरि जोडिनुहुन्छ। नमराज जोडिनु भयो सर।
हेलो हेलो सुनिए सर?
सुनिरहेको छु सर।
ए यहाँ मेरो चाहिँ कम्प्युटर सटडाउन भयो के कारणले थाहा भएन, अर्को
हजुर।
कम्प्युटरबाट।
हुन्छ सर।
हजुर हामी कहाँ पुगेका थियौँ? म त झ्याप्पै गयो क्या कम्प्युटर।
सरलाई नै माइक हस्तान्तरण गरिसकेको सर। सर प्रेजेन्टेसन सुरु गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ।
ए ओके थ्याङ्क यू। भनेपछि मैले स्क्रिन सेयर गर्छु है।
हुन्छ सर।
मलाई अलाउ गर्नु न, स्टिल डिसेबल छ।
मनिष सर अलाउ गर्नु त। मनिष सर सुन्दै हुनुहुन्छ?
स्टिल नट अलाउड है।
होस्टले गर्न मिल्दो रहेछ, होस्टै चाहिने रहेछ हैन अलाउ गर्न।
नो
एकैछिन सर, अरु संवाद गर्दै गरौँ। म के उहाँसँग कनेक्ट सरी सर, उहाँकोमा पनि इन्टरनेट समस्या के आएछ र जोडिदिनु एकैछिन।
ल ल ठिक छ ठिक छ।
ल भइसक्यो सर। हजुर
ओके
शेयर गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ होला। हुन्छ सर।
मेरो स्क्रिन देखियो नदेखिएको जानकारी पाऊँ है।
देख्यौँ सर।
अलराइट, मैले सुरु गरौँ?
हुन्छ सर।
ओके, थ्याङ्क यू भेरी मच सोन्सिक को कमिटी। आज मलाई आफ्ना केही कुराहरू सेयर गर्न, पोखरा युनिभर्सिटीमा रिसर्च एक्टिभिटीहरूको बारेमा केही कुराहरू सेयर गर्नको लागि इन्भाइट गर्नुभयो। त्यसको लागि सोन्सिक कमिटी, दीर्घ भाइ लगायत सम्पूर्ण सोन्सिकको टिम, तपाईँहरूलाई एकदमै धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद छ। अलि अगाडि नै गरौँ भनेर दीर्घजीले भनिराख्नु भएको थियो, तर मेरो आफ्नो पर्सनल यो स्केड्युल अलिक टाइट भएको हुनाले मैले ठ्याक्कै अगाडि टाइम दिन सकेन। त्यसको लागि सरी भन्न चाहेँ। धेरै भए पनि हामी जोडिन पाएका छौँ, खुसी छ एकदम। तपाईँहरूलाई एकदमै धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद। सो मैले आज इन्टरनेसनल पार्टिसिपेन्ट नभएको हुनाले अब नेपालीमै गरौँ भन्ने कुरा भएको छ, त्यही नेपालीमै गरेँ। इन केस हाम्रो इन्टरनेसनल पार्टिसिपेन्ट आउनुभयो कोही भने पछाडि प्लिज मलाई भन्नु होला, हामी इङ्ग्लिसमा पनि गरौँ। यो के अरे मैले यो एडमिट पनि गर्नुपर्ने भयो कि जस्तो भयो। यहाँ नोटिफिकेसन आइरहेछ, एडमिनले अलिकति एड्रेस गर्नुपर्ने देखियो
हामी गर्छौं सर त्यो जस्ट इग्नोर गरे हुन्छ सरले
यो हो all right so the topic of the talk today is transformation of research culture in Pokhara University so अघि मेरो एकदमै धेरै praised introduction दिइदिनु भएको छ हाम्रो गोसिका बहिनीले एकदमै धन्यवाद छ म अहिले पोखरा युनिभर्सिटीमा पोखरा युनिभर्सिटी रिसर्च सेन्टरको एक्जिक्युटिभ डाइरेक्टरको रूपमा कार्यरत छु र युनिभर्सिटीमा म विगत 16 इयर्सदेखि कार्यरत छु मेरो एक्सपर्टिज भनेको मेडिसिनल बोटनी हो मेडिसिनल बोटनीको कोर्सेसहरू पढाउँछु र त्यस सम्बन्धित अध्ययनमा पनि संलग्न रहेको छु so before jumping into the main talk केही कुराहरू मैले आफ्नो पर्सनल मेरो एजुकेसनल ब्याकग्राउन्डको बारेमा राख्न चाहे मेरो एकाडेमिक ब्याकग्राउन्ड चाहिँ त्यस्तो स्ट्रेट फरवर्ड चाहिँ छैन पढ्दै गयो फेरि बिचमा 1-2 वर्ष पज देन फेरि पढाइ सुरु फेरि पज फेरि पढाइ सुरु भएको छ स्टेपमा गएको छ मैले मेरो एसएलसी चाहिँ दार्चुला डिस्ट्रिक्टबाट गरेको हो ब्याक इन 1993 त्यस पछाडि त्यति बेला चाहिँ नेपालमा हाम्रो +2 पढ्ने कुनै पनि व्यवस्था थिएन त्यतिखेर त्यो इलाकामा तर हाम्रो ठ्याक्क बोर्डरिङ टाउन इन्डियाको रुरल टाउन त्यहाँ चाहिँ +2 पढाइ हुन्थ्यो घर नजिकै पनि सस्तो पनि सबै कुरा भएको हुनाले त्यहाँ गएर +2 पढियो त्यस पछाडि मैले अलि झन्नै 2 वर्ष जति प्राइमरी स्कुलमा मिडल हाई स्कुल भनौँ न आर्ट्ससम्मको स्कुलमा एज अ साइन्स टिचर काम गरेँ त्यस पछाडि त्रिभुवन युनिभर्सिटीमा ब्याचलर देन फलोड बाई मास्टर्स अनि मास्टर्स सक्ने बित्तिकै म पोखरा युनिभर्सिटी जोइन हुने अवसर पाएँ एज एन असिस्टेन्ट प्रोफेसर काम गर्दै गर्दा आई गट अपर्च्युनिटी टु गो टु द नेदरल्यान्ड्स फर माई another degree which was in plant biotechnology master's degree. It was from 2010 to 2012. And then I came back to Pokhara University and worked here for about 3 years. And in the meantime, I was looking for PhD and I applied several universities across the globe, especially Europe and Australia. And fortunately, I got international scholarship to study PhD in Western Sydney University. And I went there in 2015 and I completed my PhD in plant cell and molecular biology in 2019. And after completing my PhD, I came back and again joined the university and serving university until now. So regarding my work experience, as I mentioned just earlier, I started my job in Pokhara University in 2005 as an assistant professor of medicinal botany. In just a month earlier, I've been promoted to associate professor. And in the meantime, I got new responsibility of executive director from the August this year. And right now, I'm talking to you as the capacity of an executive director of Pokhara University Research Center. I want to just highlight my research interest in here. So as I mentioned, I am a plant biologist. I worked in different fields related to plant science, but my main expertise and my interest is in plant secondary metabolism. To specify plant secondary metabolism, my experience is in carotenoid biosynthesis and regulation in plants. As many of you might be aware of carotenoids, they are the pigments that makes plants colorful, like fruits, flowers, or roots. For example, in carrot roots, we see carrot fruits deep orange in color. That is because of carotenoid, and which is the precursor of vitamin A. And vitamin A is essential for proper growth, development, and functioning of human body as well, human biology as well. So humans or animals cannot produce or cannot biosynthesize carotenoids. However, all the plants, they biosynthesize carotenoids, several carotenoids, and animals, they take carotenoids as the dietary nutrients and fulfill their nutritional requirement. Specifically, my research interests are in how to improve these highly nutritionally important metabolites in plant tissues, especially in green tissues. Some of the fruits or some flowers are already laden with very specific carotenoids, but leaves contain carotenoids, but not in abundant amount. So what if we could enhance the level of carotenoids in leaves of vegetables so that we can get enough beta carotene as well as other carotenoids to fulfill our nutritional requirement? So this is about my research interest, and I'm trying to do my best in this field, writing papers, writing reviews, and trying to figure out the ways to do research in carotenoids here in Pokhara University as well. So this is all about my research, and now I'm going to specify my talk into the topic of today, that is transformation of research culture in Pokhara University. So I'm going to start this talk with the general background of research in Nepal, very basic status of resources or the foundations for research in Nepal. If you just Google universities in Nepal, so we can find a list of universities and university-like institutions in Nepal. So far till now, we have 12 universities established, and among them, the Tribhuvan University is the first and historical university in Nepal, which was established in 1959, more than 60 years old. And Pokhara University is, of course, one of them, which was established in 1997. And besides universities, there are university-like autonomous institutions, mostly dedicated to medical education in Nepal. They are mostly Academy of Medical Sciences or Health Sciences. Among these institutions that are dedicated to higher education and research, one we must highlight is the Nepal Academy of Science and Technology, which was established in 1982. It also has a very long history. This was the institution dedicated to promotion of science and technology, research and innovation, which was established after Tribhuvan University. So this institution has great responsibility for the nation. Besides these dedicated institutions, there are several departments in the ministries of Nepal government. They are very much dedicated to research and development activities. For example, Department of Forest, Department of Agriculture. There is one very robust research institution under Ministry of Agriculture that we call NARC, Nepal Agricultural Research Council. And one good thing to note here is, besides these governmental initiatives about higher education and research, nowadays we can witness the number of institutions that are being established privately. A group of researchers across the world, Nepalese researchers, which are being doing their research across the world, they are coming together and they are trying to figure out how to strengthen the research facilities and research activities in Nepal. So there are a couple of very, very interesting, very nice institutions already have been established in Nepal, mostly in the Kathmandu. So dedicated to research and innovation activities. I'm not gonna go deep into these, all the institutions and their responsibilities, their tasks and all so and so forth. However, I wanna highlight one figure from one of the paper we have recently published, and data of this figure is from the report of University Grant Commission of Nepal, 2020. So you could see in this plot, the number of students in higher education according to the faculties of their streams. So in this figure, out of the total students that are enrolled in higher education institutions, nearly 50% students, they belong to management faculty, management stream, followed by science and technology, technical education, 20%, humanities, 14%, and education, 18%, and humanities, 14%. So interesting thing here to highlight is technical education shares only 20%, and 80% students are going to pursue a non-technical education in Nepal. If we break down this 20% in more specific ways, the pie chart in the side, you could see that distribution of students in 3 different streams, like science and technology, medicine, and engineering. So we could see almost similar percentage of students choosing these 3 domains of science. However, science and technology is dominating over the 2. So it means, in totality, number of students choosing science and technology is very low comparison to non-technical education. You might be thinking about the number of students, how many students are there in Nepal at the moment studying higher education. So again, these figures, these numbers are from same report from University Grant Commission Nepal. So the total number of students currently in higher education, obviously this is the data from 2020 UGC report. So these numbers, the number of students in higher education is 423,000 plus. So interesting point here to be noted is, out of these 423,000 students, nearly 90% students are at undergraduate level, means bachelor studies. And master's degree students are nearly 10%, and PhD is less than 0.5%. And another interesting point to mention here is Tribhuvan University students, number of students in Tribhuvan University is over 80% of total. And Tribhuvan University alone has more than 1,100 campuses across the country. And that's why Tribhuvan University is a leading university. Although there are, I have already mentioned, there are 13 universities until now in Nepal, 12 universities already in Nepal, but the Tribhuvan University is still hosting 80% or more than 80% students in the country. This is something the policymakers should think about, how to distribute students to other universities proportionately. And if we just compare the trend of students participating or enrolling in students, I'm sharing my personal experience in here. So as I mentioned, I started teaching at Pokhara University back in 2005. And I've been teaching Bachelor of Pharmacy students from the beginning. So I just compared a couple of figures here. The number of students in different years from 2009 and 2019, just 10 years span. So you could see male and female student number of male and female students is just upside down within 10 years. This is my very personal experience, and I just plotted the. I just made this plot from the data that I had. So in 2009, the class was dominated by male students, whereas in 2019, last year, I was teaching first year B pharmacy class, which was dominated by girls. So it is really nice to see that girls are more interested in studying, coming to universities for higher studies, and they are pretty much interested to study pharmaceutical sciences. That is pretty good, symptom. The government policies are favoring women education. So this is a very good example that women are quite motivated to pursue their high degrees in technical education. However, at the same time, if you think opposite of that, why the number of male students is decreasing? This is not something that we supposed to expect. So this upside down or just opposite trend of students choosing Bachelor of Pharmaceutical Sciences might ask a couple of questions to us. For example, why is the number of male students decreasing? Or are male students reluctant to study pharmacy? Or they have different choices? They may be choosing some other stream or other programs in the university. We don't have clear-cut answer unless we do some research throughout the university. We can't say clear in a black and white manner. But this type of, if this is happening to all the streams, all the universities, that definitely might have a serious impact on socioeconomic relations, or that could have notable socioeconomic impacts in case of Nepal. I then just looked into, I just made an assumption that if the number of girls is increasing in Nepalese classroom and number of male students is decreasing, then I just made a rough doubt that whether the number of students going abroad could tell us something interesting that can compensate our this figure. For example, I just retrieved data from Australian government side, which has all the data about the number of international students enrolled in every year in Australia. So I compared the data from 2002 up to 2021, this year, in Australia. And this is the data about Nepalese students enrollment in Australia. So you could clearly see here, in 2002, there were about 1,000 students enrolled in Australia from Nepal. The number was gradually increased, or very steadily increased, and reached up to 53,000 in 2019, just before the outbreak of COVID-19. And in 2020 and 2021, this year too, despite Corona lockdowns and so many things, number of Nepalese students enrolled in Australian universities is 44,410. That is huge. You can imagine the number of students, male students, decreasing in Nepalese classrooms. That could be because number of male students going abroad could be much higher than the number of girls and students, female students going abroad. This is my rough assumption only. I don't have any data to support this hypothesis, but this could be one of the reasons, or there could be something else. And in Australia, if we see breakdown of the students' choice, or why Nepalese students or international students go to Australia. So in 2020, out of 882 plus international students in Australia, nearly 50%, 47% students went to Australia for their higher studies, and 35% students, international students, went to Australia for vocational training. And these two together makes 82%. So it means, so we can say that international students choose Australia for either higher education or at least for vocational training. Then question comes, are we doing good enough in Nepal regarding higher education or vocational trainings? So there is a big question to seek answer. Why do students apply to abroad for technical and higher education? This is something policy related question. We have to ask this question to the ministries or education planners of Nepal. So are we doing good enough in Nepal? So to figure out a rough idea about the status of science and technology in Nepal, or educational opportunities, or quality of education in Nepal, I compared one data from SCImago country ranking. Most of you might have using this or looking into this SCImago ranking time and again. So this SCImago compares almost all countries of the world. In fact, it has 240 countries data according to ranked according to the number of documents those countries have published and the number of documents which are citable, and so on and so forth. And you could see in this plot, this data is from SCImago website. So in the United States, there are more than 30 million documents, nearly 14 million documents. And of those nearly 14 million documents, nearly 12 million documents are citable, which makes 86%, nearly 87% of total documents published. And US has S index of 2,577. I'm not going to compare directly the data of Nepal with the United States, but we have something to show to the world that we are doing something. So it's good to have something than nothing. So we are at 91st position among 240 countries. So this is quite good already. And the total number of documents published from Nepal is 20,000. And very good thing is majority of documents are citable documents from Nepal, which is even more than published in the US. So almost 89% documents published from Nepal are citable. And if we see number of citations per document, we are also at very good position. That is 13.24 citations per document, which is much better than the Chinese people are doing. But I'm just picking some of the positive notes from this data, but the condition of science and technology or overall research and development in higher education sector is not that much appreciable in case of Nepal at the moment. So then I looked into another website called Nepal Journals Online. This is the website that is kind of indexing website, which lists all the journals published within Nepal. And this website provides ranking to the journals according to their quality. And till now, there are 237 journals already listed in Nepal website. And from those 237 journals, we could see 26,000 articles already published. And out of those 26,000, more than 25,000 1,000 articles can be available. They are available in full text and free of cost. So that is really appreciating endeavors Nepalese researchers are doing here in Nepal. If we see the quality indicators of these 237 journals, if we compare these journals with the SCImago indexed journals, out of these 237 journals, only 6 journals, they are listed in SCImago ranks. And out of 6, 4 journals are Q3 journals, third quartile journals, and 4 journals are fourth quartile journals, and 2 of them are Q3 journals. So just to see what Nepalese researchers are doing and what we are publishing in Nepal, I just wanted to zoom into one of the best journals of Nepal, and you can just see the names of these 6 journals, and they all are related to health sciences or medical sciences, like Journal of Nepal Medical College Journal, or Journal of the Nepal Medical Association, Journal of Ophthalmology, Journal of Nepal Health Research Council, Journal of Pediatric Society, the Journal of Epidemiology. So all these are health-related journals. And among them, JNHRC, Journal of Nepal Health Research Council, is one of the reputed journals in Nepal. It has been indexed with PubMed, Scopus, and so many databases. So it has its history on its own and doing great job for motivating people to publish their research from Nepal. So, but here I want to highlight the quality of research in here. So all the research published in this journal are good quality, high quality journal, high quality research. However, if you compare the type of the studies published in this journal is mostly observational research. So like effect of educational intervention, profile of destructive ocular surgery, 12 years review from Eastern Nepal, prevalence of overweight and obesity, prevalence of dental caries, something like that. So most of the publications are observational research. So the reason behind publishing only observational papers in these journals could have many reasons, but one could be if Nepalese scientists, research from Nepal has very good, impactful results, they might opt for highly reputed international journals from the international publishing houses. They are reluctant to submit their papers to this journal. Or another reason could be we are not doing good enough. Our research is not good enough. So there may be many arguments behind this. But this journal is doing good, but the most of the published research is mostly observational. That is take-home message of this slide. However, this is not the clear-cut overall answer of Nepalese research or research from Nepal. So you could see some institutions are doing really great job in terms of research and innovation. So if you see Nature Indexed, we can see 6 of Nepalese institutions already listed in there. So of them, 2 are universities, Tribhuvan University and Kathmandu University, which is quite encouraging for Nepalese researchers. It means we can do very high quality research in Nepal that can hit world's best journals like Nature Communications, Nature Medicine, or PNAS, or similar journals. So we have very good indications that we can do a lot better in the days to come. So the summary, the main message up to now is we have a very large number of, very good number of higher education institutions and research centers in Nepal. However, in an average, our existing institutions are poor performers. We are not doing good enough what we should do. And most of the research conducted and published in Nepal are observational research. And there are very good indications that we could do much better than ever we did in the past. So this is the message from the first half of my talk. Now I want to jump into the Pokhara University, from the university where I work and I've been working. This university was established in 1997. Currently, we have 4 faculties, namely the Science and Technology, Health Sciences, Management Studies and Humanities, and Social Sciences. And we have 4 constituent schools. Constituent school means the schools that are directly run by the university on its own. And besides those 4 constituents, there are joint constituent campuses. 4. The joint constituent campuses are they are either government institutions or public institutions. They are well equipped and strong enough to run academic programs on their own. In that case, Pokhara University granted permission to those institutions to start academic degrees. And that is in collaboration with Pokhara University. So we have 4 joint constituent campuses. 2 of them are running ophthalmic science, optometry, bachelor's and master's degree courses. And one of them is running nursing bachelor's course, and one of them is running engineering courses. So besides these 8, there are 58 affiliated campuses or colleges across the country. So these affiliated campuses are private institutions that take permission from Pokhara University according to the conditions or guidelines created by the university. They follow those rules, and they run different undergraduate and graduate programs. And within these 66 institutions and 4 faculties, there are more than 32,000 students running, which are studying 61 different programs. And one of the best part of Pokhara University that we feel proud to discuss with others is we provide significant scholarships to the needy students. And in our constituent programs, we provide 20% scholarships to the needy people. And in affiliated campuses, there are 5% students studying under a scholarship package. And on top of that, from the last year, government of Nepal has established a medical education commission. And nowadays, all the students, majority of students, or 75% of students studying in the government institutions, they don't need to pay any fee. So they are free. 75% students study medical science education for free. So that is very good initiative from the government of Nepal. So now I'm going to talk about something something related to Pokhara University Research Center. So this center was established in 2012 under the Pokhara University Regulation 2002. Regulations were established, formulated back in 2002. However, for some reason, the center wasn't established until 2012. And I am the 3rd executive director of Pokhara University. And this center is responsible for formulating the research and innovation policies, guidelines, and action plans for the university, and executing those regulations or action plans to achieve the goals and targets of Pokhara University, specifically to support teaching and learning activities, research and innovation activities, and community connections. So, Pokhara University Research Center is kind of policy maker as well as the implementer both. It has its own structural domains to work. So I'm not going to talk about the organogram of university as a whole. I want to just focus on Pokhara University Research Center. So in Pokhara University, there is the topmost body, decision-making body is the Senate, University Senate. Then there is Academic Council, which takes a decision about academic and research programs. And third one is Executive Council that takes a decision about the regular activities or decisions, plans, or all those things. But besides that, Pokhara University Research Center has its own committee to guide the activities of the research center. That is called a Central Research Management Committee, CRMC, which is chaired by the Vice Chancellor of the university. And all the deans of faculties, they are members, and the member secretary is the executive director. So this committee makes the decisions, formulate the policies, plans, action plans for Pokhara University Research Center. And then there is another committee, Research Evaluation Committee. This committee is chaired by the executive director of PURC, and there are 4 expert members from different domains of the research, and one of them works as the member secretary. This committee is more focusing on evaluation of proposals, evaluation of research reports, grant applications, and all those things. Besides this, currently we have started establishing research management cell in all the affiliated campuses as well as all the constituent campuses. It means every higher education institution related to Pokhara University is now establishing research management cell to regulate, to monitor research activities in those institutions. So this research management cell is directly connected to Pokhara University Research Center. And one important component of PURC is Institutional Review Committee that takes care of research ethics and integrity in the university system. And this IRC follows the norms and guidelines of NHRC, Nepal Health Research Council. So all the committees and all the activities of this committee are guided by NHRC. So these 4 are the key components of Pokhara University Research Center. So Pokhara University performs several tasks at the moment. It has been doing different activities. One of them that I would like to highlight is Pokhara University Research Center provide grants to the faculties of Pokhara University, both constituent campuses as well as affiliated campuses. There are 2 types of grants that Pokhara University Research Center provides. One is individual research grant, which is up to 1,100,000 Nepali currency. And another is collaborative research grants that can be up to 3,300,000. The duration of these research grants is normally 1 year. However, depending upon the research progress, it can go up to 2 years. But within 2 years, researchers must complete their research and submit the final report. I have some research topics here that are undergoing research at the moment at Pokhara University, which are funded by Pokhara University Research Center. You could see like blood pressure patterns and risk factors of hypertension among adult people of KASKI, study of delays in construction projects and similar. And I want to make a point in here too is, as I mentioned earlier, in case of journal and publications, most of the research, Pokhara University Research Center funding is again observational type of research, although we have some really good wet lab research as well, like phytochemical screening, isolation of compounds from plants, and modulation, simulation models, preparation of simulation models. So we have very good research projects as well. And another thing Pokhara University Research Center coordinate is the publication of journals from Pokhara University. So at the moment, we have 3 journals actively publishing research papers. So one is from the School of Health and Allied Sciences. We have the journal named the Journal of Health and Allied Sciences. So the latest volume of this journal was published this year in August. So we have the Himalayan Journal of Applied Science and Engineering. The faculties from engineering, they are taking care of this journal. And the last journal was published in 2020. Upcoming volume is, there is a call for upcoming journal. So, and the journal is Journal of Business Management from the School of Business. So until now, we have these 3 journals, and we are trying to make these journals more stronger and increase their quality in terms of publication ethics and all those things. If any one of the audience in this group, if you want to see more or know more about the journals, you can just visit the websites of those journals. I want to emphasize again here about the quality of our research. Again, I mentioned already that we are doing good research and doing our best to publish them. However, our problem or our limitation is the research facility. That is why most of the journals, most of the papers, most of the research are limited to observational level, or just go to somewhere, do some field observation or field experiments and get some paper published. So the papers published in JAS is doing pretty good. It has been indexed with several indexing portals. Very soon we'll be indexed with PubMed Scopus as well. We are just doing administrative things for those activities, but the research is again mostly observational. So these are the things, these are the points we can improve. When we talk about transformation of research culture in Pokhara University, as well as Nepalese universities, we have to think something differently to enhance, to strengthen research facilities. So for that, Pokhara University Research Center is currently under brainstorming phase, I would say. So we are discussing how can we strengthen the research facility in Pokhara University. So for that, we have already sorted out some points that we must work on this direction. So some of them I have highlighted here are, number one is establishment of Pokhara University Research Fund. I mentioned already that Pokhara University Research Center is providing certain grants to the researchers to do their research. However, that comes directly from the university fund. Every year, university allocates certain fund, and that fund goes to the faculties for research. So our revised plan is that we must have some fund, kind of perpetual fund that must, gather a lot of money in it and invest that money to the faculties, to students, and to strengthen research facilities within the university. So from that fund, we are planning to establish central research facility and central research laboratories. Those laboratories and central research facility will be the research facility, that those laboratories will be specified advanced laboratories so that students and other researchers can do their advanced research in those laboratories. And after that, if we have good laboratories and enough fund in Pokhara University, obviously we need smart minds and talented people to do research. So for that, university needs to recruit highly skilled, internationally competent human resources, and Pokhara University is planning for that. And another important thing, Pokhara University is kind of lagging behind is we don't have enough higher degree research programs like master's and PhD level programs, specifically in research field. So we are planning to initiate more master's and PhD level degrees in the near future. And another point I would like to emphasize here is Pokhara University Research Center is providing research fund to the faculties. It is not up to the students' level until now. So in the near future, we will be making some provisions that the students can also apply for the research grants to Pokhara University Research Center so that they can have their own ideas, they could have their own funding to do the undergraduate research or the graduate research or PhD. So having said this, we are very committed to strengthen, to foster active partnerships with different institutions within the country and beyond, especially the government and non-governmental sector, to facilitate, to provide a globally competent higher education in Pokhara University. So whether we are ready to do that or not, I'm happy to share some of the data from one of the surveys that I conducted a couple of weeks ago. This is not completed yet. This is undergoing survey. I just wanted to see the research profile of the faculties that are in Pokhara University constituent campuses now. So I have already received responses from more than 50 faculties, and I want to highlight the point here is most of the faculties, more than 80% are 30 to 49 years of age, and 90% of those faculties are permanent faculties. So this is the brilliant strength that we can valorize for betterment of Pokhara University education system. And another thing I want to highlight here is if you see the publication record of these faculties that have already been serving Pokhara University is quite promising. You could see many faculties are publishing their research in world's renowned journals, including Nature indexed journals or SciMago Q1, Q2. So this is quite promising, and I hope we could do much better in the days to come. And for that, we are already doing really great job at Pokhara University in terms of the international partnerships. So university has already kind of formal relation with more than 50 universities and higher education institutions across the globe, including like Korea, Japan, China, India, US, or UK. So I have highlighted a couple of very good examples of that we have accomplished in Pokhara University together with our international partners. So one of them, highly phrased project we have recently accomplished is with Handong Global University, South Korea. So this project reached more than a dozen of districts of Nepal, reached to the rural farmers to improve their capacity to extract the fiber from aloe plant. Aloe plant is it is Himalayan nettle people use its fiber to make clothes locally. But the process, the way they process is quite hectic, quite time consuming, is very low product, with very low productivity. Pokhara University with HJU developed certain technologies and transferred those technologies to the farmers. And with the help of those technologies, those farmers enhanced their capacity of fiber production. So that is really a remarkable project we have accomplished with international partners. Likewise, there is another interesting project undergoing with Seoul National University is on a biochar production and application for enhancement of agricultural productivity in Nepal. Besides, we have received funding from Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation for Global Sanitation Graduate School Program in Nepal. And besides this, we are very much involved in Erasmus Plus funded programs with European and Asian partners. Some of them I would like to highlight here are like SPERA, that was for supporting the professionalization of health engineering studies in Nepal. So through this SPERA project, the Pokhara University has already started master's degree course in health engineering. There was another project. It is about to complete this year officially, called Inotal. This was all about talent hunting within the university and enhance their employability capacity. So this is also very notable international collaboration with international partners. And another couple of projects undergoing enhancing green economy in Asia, EGEA, and then e-access, which is focused on smart power systems, and another is Bhutan, Nepal higher education for accomplishing sustainable development goals, B+ and ESDG. So these are just examples of international partnership that Pokhara University has been successfully conducting. So having said that, as I have already mentioned, Pokhara University is in 25th year of its establishment, and we are celebrating this with a great pride. And we are planning to engage our activities with Sustainable Development Agenda 2030. So, as many of you might have aware with the SDG goals, Sustainable Development Goals. So there are 17 goals. All those goals are supposed to met by 2030. And every partner countries, they are committed to meet the goals set by the United Nations. So Pokhara University is revising its policies so that we can work together to work alongside of the SDG agenda. And out of these 17 different agenda, obviously being a university, we are much more focusing on quality education, goal number 4, and the global quality higher education in Nepal. We are preparing ourselves to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all in case of Nepal. And to achieve these goals, Pokhara University invites you all who are listening to this talk now and later in the social media or YouTube. We invite you all for active collaboration at your best capacity so that we can work together to meet the SDG quality education marks. So with these things, I would like to complete my talk highlighting a popular saying of Henry Ford, which is called "Coming together is the beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. So with this quote, I again invite you all to join hands to work together for sustainable development goals. And I thank you all. Thank you, SONSIK and all the participants of this program for providing me opportunity to talk about something about Pokhara University activities and plans. Thank you so much. And I would be glad if you have any questions. I'll do my best to respond to those questions. Thank you very much. Now up to you, admin.
धन्यवाद सर। आजको यो प्रभावकारी प्रस्तुतिको लागि आदरणीय गुरु डाक्टर नवराज धामीज्यूलाई हार्दिक धन्यवाद व्यक्त गर्न चाहन्छु। अब भने हामी आजको कार्यक्रमको प्रश्न उत्तर सेगमेन्ट तर्फ लाग्न चाहन्छौँ। प्रश्नको लागि हजुरहरूले जुममा ह्यान्ड रेज गर्न सक्नुहुनेछ, साथै हजुरहरूले मेसेज पनि गर्न सक्नुहुनेछ। तर प्रश्न राख्ने समय चाहिँ हजुरहरूको लागि 1 मिनेट मात्रै रहनेछ। 1 मिनेट भित्रमा हजुरहरूले प्रश्न राखिदिनु होला। जो कोहीसँग नि प्रश्न छ भने हजुरहरूले ह्यान्ड रेज गर्न सक्नुहुनेछ।
मैले स्लाइड सो के गरौँ, स्टप गरौँ कि राखिराखौँ?
स्टप गरे पनि हुन्छ होला सर। हामीसँग डाक्टर देवी बस्ने सर जोडिनु भएको छ। देवी सर केही छ संवादमा जोड्न पर्ने कुरा?
नमस्कार। मैले सुरुदेखि सुनिरहेको थिएँ नवराज सर। Good to listen your this presentation. Exactly, मैले यति धेरै इन्फर्मेसन तपाईको प्रेजेन्टेसनबाट थाहा पाएँ कि I didn't imagine it. So well organized and well presented regarding all the education sectors in Nepal. I really appreciate for their all summary. अनि अर्को एउटा एक्साइटिङ कुरा चाहिँ तपाईको यो पोखरा युनिभर्सिटीहरुको जुन प्रोफाइल देखाउनु भएको छ प्रोफेसरहरुको, I'm really excited to know about this. The professors are 80% or 90% permanent, and most of them are young researchers and young professors. That's a huge potentiality the Pokhara University is carrying for upcoming days, I think. Research को बारेमा तपाईले भनिसक्नु भएको छ हैन, more or less we also know. मलाई एउटा कुरा के एड गर्न मन लाग्यो भने जति पनि रिसर्चहरु भइरहेको छ नेपालमा त्यो अब्जर्भेशनल खालको रिसर्च भन्नु भएको छ नि, आई थिंक अहिलेको कन्टेक्स्टमा नेपालमा चाहिँ हामीले रिसर्च गर्दै छौं, दैट इज गुड वन हैन। अनि हामीसँग इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चरहरु त्यसको चाहिँ फाइनान्शियल सपोर्टहरु नभएको भएर हामीले बेसिक रिसर्च अलिकति हाई क्वालिटीको रिसर्च गर्न नसकेता पनि you have already been collaborating with other institutions outside. That is the best way we can do. And observational research मा जुन त्यो डेटाहरु आउँछ त्यो डेटा चाहिँ हाई क्वालिफाइड युनिभर्सिटी वा रिसर्च ग्रुपहरुसँग तपाईहरुले कोलाबोरेट गर्नुभयो भनेदेखि the data that we will be having from Nepal as an observational research will be having a high quality research as well. त्यो खालको कोलाबोरेसन हामीले गर्ने खालको स्ट्र्याटेजी अलिकति र्यापिड गर्यो भने, अलिकति एग्रेसिभली लाग्यो भने मलाई लाग्छ high quality research need data observation. They need to test something or they have to get some information. That is we have. So I think that kind of collaboration, I'm not sure about how you are collaborating with other institutions, but that would be the main resource to explore to other research institute or university to make the equal research. I have no doubt that our professor, our researchers in Nepal having a high quality, it's just because of our research facility we are going behind. I think that can be adjusted, and our research quality in Nepal, even including Nepal University, can be. Oh, just a minute.
Come.
Sorry.
Come.
I'll come.
My fan is moving. I can't find the what is it? Come, you have to check. Come,
just a minute.
check.
Okay. Sorry, I just continue my my talking. I just be 1 minute break. Please go ahead.
All right, thank you, Dr. Bosne. नमस्ते, धेरै दिनपछि सरसित भर्चुअली भए पनि भेट भयो, खुसी लागेको छ। तपाईको रिमार्क्स एकदमै क्रिटिकल छ। अब्जर्भेसनल रिसर्च अहिले छ, तर अब्जर्भेसनल रिसर्च बिना हामी नेक्स्ट लेभलमा जान सक्दैनौँ। That's why these type of researches are quite crucial for us to move ahead. So तिनीहरुको क्वालिटी अब्जर्भेसनल भए पनि क्वालिटी नराम्रो चाहिँ छैन, they are up to the mark already. अनि अर्को भनेको कोलाबोरेसनको लागि जुन सरले भन्नुभयो एकदमै इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ। अब नेपालकै इन्स्टिट्युट विदिन द कन्ट्री कोलाबोरेसन हामी त्यसमा अलि बढी नै पुवर छौँ। बरु बाहिरको इन्स्टिट्युटहरुसित अलिअलि कोलाबोरेसन भएको छ, तर नेपाल भित्रकै इन्स्टिट्युसनहरुसित त्यति धेरै कोलाबोरेसन भइ नसकेको अवस्था चाहिँ छ। त्यसको लागि हामीले एक्सरसाइज गर्नुपर्ने छ विदिन द कन्ट्री को कोलाबोरेसन। अनि प्लस अब इन्टरनेसनल कोलाबोरेसनहरु पनि अहिलेसम्म चाहिँ एकदमै रिसर्च प्रोजेक्टहरुको लेभलमा कोलाबोरेसन त्यसमा पनि हामी पुवर छौँ, फटाफट भएको देखिन्छ। त्यही भएर हाम्रो नेचरमा अथवा नेचर लेभलको पब्लिकेसनहरुमा जर्नलहरुमा नेपाली साइन्टिस्टहरु देखिराख्नु भएको छ नेपालको इन्स्टिट्युटबाट। तर अलिकति मेगा ग्रान्टहरुमा कोलाबोरेटर भएर काम गर्ने अवस्था चाहिँ त्यसको लागि हामी प्रिपरेसन गर्दैछौँ भनौँ, अथवा वी आर रेडी टु हिट द्याट मार्क। त्यसको लागि अब एप्रोप्रिएट टाइमको हामी खोजीमा छौँ। यो सबै युनिभर्सिटीमा त्यही छ। त्रिभुवन युनिभर्सिटी, काठमाडौँ युनिभर्सिटी इज डुइङ गुड, प्रिटी गुड। पोखरा युनिभर्सिटी पनि हामी आफैलाई तयार गर्दैछौँ, छिट्टै हामी त्यो लेभलमा पुग्छौँ। कोलाबोरेसनको लागि मैले अघि पनि मेन्सन गरेँ, हामी एकदमै एग्रेसिभली त्यो कोलाबोरेसनको लागि अगाडि बढ्न तयार भएका छौँ। अहिलेसम्मको एउटा ट्रेन्ड के छ भने जस्ट हेलो हाई भेरी फर्मल टाइपको रिलेसन मात्रै राख्ने, भिजिटर्स लेभलको मात्रै कोलाबोरेसन भएको देखिन्छ अहिलेसम्मको। फटाफट 2-4 वटा बाहेक बढी जस्तो चाहिँ यसो डेलिगेट्सहरुको भिजिट भयो, उताको यता आयो, यताको उता गयो, 2-4 वटा काम कुराहरु भयो, देन इट स्टप्स। तर पोखरा युनिभर्सिटीमा अलि त्योभन्दा फरक किसिमले हामीले सुरुवात गरिसकेका छौँ। जस्तो अघि मैले नाइटेक मेन्सन गरेँ, इनोटल मेन्सन गरेँ, त्यो किसिमका प्रोजेक्टहरू हामीले अलरेडी एकदमै सक्सेसफुली ह्यान्डल गरिसकेका छौँ। त्यो भएको हुनाले अरू पनि इन्स्टिट्युट्सहरुसित डजन्ट म्याटर विच कन्ट्री हामी चाहिँ एक्टिभली कोलाबोरेट गर्नको लागि आतुर छौँ फर म्युचुअल बेनिफिट। त्यसमा पनि रिसर्च बेस्ड, घुमफिर मात्रै होइन कि रिसर्च। हाम्रो एउटा टिम होला, उताको अर्को टिम होला, अरू थर्ड कन्ट्रीको अर्को टिम होला होइन। रिसर्चको एउटा कम्पोनेन्ट हामी गर्छौँ, अर्को कम्पोनेन्ट अर्कोले गर्छ। त्यो तरिकाले एक्टिभिटीहरू गर्नको लागि हामी एकदमै काम गरिरहेका छौँ। अनि एउटा कुरा सेयर गर्न मन लाग्यो, अब बढी जस्तो कोरियामा बसेको विद्यार्थी साथीहरू हुनुहुन्छ। अर्को कोरियाको अर्को युनिभर्सिटीसित पनि हामी छिट्टै सायद एमओयू गरेर नयाँ प्रोजेक्ट लन्च गर्ने उसमा पुग्न सक्छौँ। इन्हा युनिभर्सिटीसित हाम्रो कुराकानी भइरहेछ। कोरिया गभर्मेन्टको फन्ड हामी जोइन्टली अप्लाई गर्न खोजिरहेका छौँ। त्यो भयो भने हामीले धेरै रिसर्च ल्याबहरू, क्यापासिटी बिल्डिङका काम कुराहरू पनि त्यसमा हामीले राखिरहेका छौँ। सो तपाईहरुसित पनि अहिलेको पार्टिसिपेन्ट जति हुनुहुन्छ, तपाईहरु भएको युनिभर्सिटीमा, तपाईहरु भएको डिपार्टमेन्टमा को जोइन्ट एफर्टमा हामीले केही गर्न सक्छौँ। कतैबाट फन्डको लागि, फन्ड भने फेरि घुम्ने फन्ड होइन। आई रियली हेट घुम्ने फन्ड। म चाहिँ फन्ड चाहियो भने रिसर्चहरू स्ट्रेन्थनिङ गर्नुपर्छ, रिसर्च ल्याबहरू स्ट्रेन्थन गर्नुपर्छ। म्यान पावर राम्रो हाइली स्किल्ड म्यान पावर हामीले रिक्रुट गर्नुपर्छ त्यसको लागि हामीले कोलाबोरेट गर्न सक्छौँ कहीँबाट फन्ड लिन सक्छौँ त्यो जानकारी तपाईँहरूसित छ भने प्लिज फिल फ्री मलाई फोन गर्दा हुन्छ तपाईँहरूले जानकारी दिइदिनु होला म यहाँबाट अफिसियली के गर्नुपर्छ त्यो गर्छु अथवा इमेल गरिदिनु भए म एकदम आभारी हुन्छु अथवा सोसल मिडियाबाट जस्ट कमेन्ट गरेर एउटा मेन्सन गरिदिनु भयो भने मैले हेर्ने गरी I would be very happy to work with you guys. Thank you so much.
सर मैले चाहिँ एउटा थोरै जान्न चाहेको जस्तै म पनि पोखरा विश्वविद्यालयबाट अन्डर ग्रेजुएट गरेको हुँदा त्यो बेला हामीले थेसिस सबमिट गर्ने प्रोसेसमा अन्य कुरामा कहीँ पनि हामीले सफ्टवेयरहरू युज गरेर हाम्रो थेसिसलाई प्लेगरिजम चेक त्यस्तोमा राखेको मलाई सम्झना छैन अहिले त्यो सिस्टम बिल्ड अप गरिसकेको छ कि छैन सर किनकि विद्यार्थीहरूले कतिपय कपी गरेका हुन सक्छन् थेसिसहरू लेख्दा र कतिपय अहिलेसम्म पब्लिश नभएका पनि छन् ती सबै रिसर्चहरूलाई पब्लिश वेमा शिफ्ट कसरी गर्न सकिएला र विशेष गरेर अघि हामीले इथिकल प्र्याक्टिस भन्यौं रियल्ली चाहिँ बेस लाइनमा कतिपय अनइथिकल प्र्याक्टिस भएका छन् कि छैनन् विद्यार्थीबाट त्यसको अब्जर्भेसन चाहिँ कसरी गर्ने टुल बनाइरहेछ होला सर त्यसले कसरी म्याटर गर्छ
भेरी क्रिटिकल क्वेसन थ्यांक यू सो मच देवजी यो चाहिँ अत्यावश्यक काम हो हामीले गर्नुपर्ने अहिलेसम्म पर्सनल लेभलमा जस्तो मैले रिसर्च गराउँदाखेरि मैले फ्री साइट्सहरू युज गरेर मैले सुपरभाइज गर्ने स्टुडेन्टहरूलाई फ्री साइटहरूको जानकारी दिएर प्लेजियरिजम नगर भनेर उनीहरूलाई त्यो किसिमले काउन्सिलिङ गरेर त्यो लेभलमा भइरहेको छ इन्स्टिट्युसनली सफ्टवेयर किनेर त्यसमा हालेर त्यो प्लेजियरिजम भेरिफिकेसन अफिसियली है अनअफिसियली वी आर डुइङ बट अफिसियली त्यस्तो ठ्याक्कै त्यो फेजमा जाने अवस्था चाहिँ भइसकेको छैन तर भेरी सुन अब हामी यो प्लेजियरिजम चेकर सफ्टवेयर लगायतका जति पनि सफ्टवेयरहरू हामीलाई चाहिन्छ जेन्युन सफ्टवेयरहरूको व्यवस्था गरेर यो रिसर्चको एक्टिभिटीहरूलाई सिस्टमेटाइज गर्न प्रयासरत छौँ
सर हजुरको म्युट भयो कृपया
यस सरी फर द्याट इन्टिग्रिटी र एथिक्सका कुराहरू छन् त्यसकै लागि अघि मैले मेन्सन गरेँ हामी आइआरसी गठन भइसकेको छ त्यसले एकापट्टि हेल्थ एथिकल कन्सिडरेसन्सहरू फलो भएको छ कि छैन भनेर हेर्छ एट द सेम टाइम पियुआरसी टुगेदर विथ आइआरसी यसले चाहिँ ओभरअल रिसर्च एथिक्सका कुराहरू स्टुडेन्टले अथवा फ्याकल्टीले जो पनि रिसर्चर युनिभर्सिटीसित एसोसिएटेड छ उसले गरेको रिसर्च एक्टिभिटी अन द स्पटको रिसर्च एक्टिभिटीदेखि लिएर उसको पब्लिकेसनहरूसम्म कतै मिसकन्डक्टहरू गरेका छ कि छैन भन्ने कुरो ट्र्याक गर्ने उसलाई चाहिँ राइट ट्र्याकमा राख्ने कामहरू पियुआरसी को दायित्वभित्र पर्छ त्यो अगाडि हामी एकदम प्रयासरत छौँ त्यो गर्नको लागि
सर अनि यसैमा एउटा चाहिँ त्यो जस्तै रिसर्च गर्नका लागि अरूले गरिरहेका रिसर्च ट्र्याक गर्नका लागि पनि त वर्ल्डका सबै जर्नलसँग विद्यार्थीको एसेस हुन पर्यो त्यो जर्नलसँगको सब्सक्रिप्सन चाहिँ युनिभर्सिटीले कसरी गरेको छ जस्तै एफिलिएटेड कलेजहरूले चाहिँ खर्चिलो हुने हुँदा त्यो चाहिँ एसेस नपाएका कयौं छन् त्यसलाई चाहिँ पियुले चाहिँ कसरी ह्यान्डल गर्ला सर भोलिका दिनमा त्यो चाहिँ
अगेन भेरी क्रिटिकल क्वेसन अहिलेसम्म हाम्रो युनिभर्सिटी लेभलबाट पर्सनल सब्सक्रिप्सन पैसा तिरेर सब्सक्राइब गरेको चाहिँ एकदमै नोमिनल नै छ भन्नुपर्छ तर हामीसित हिनारी डब्लुएचओ हिनारीको हामी मेम्बर भएको हुनाले हिनारीले हामीलाई धेरै रिसोर्सहरू फ्री अफ कस्ट एभाइलेबल गरेको छ त्यस्तै अगोरा भन्ने छ अरू कन्सोर्टियमहरूको रिसर्च फर लाइफ भन्ने छ तिनीहरूको अब हामी पब्लिक युनिभर्सिटी भएको हुनाले बाई डिफल्ट त्यताबाट धेरै रिसोर्सेसहरू चाहिँ हामीले एभाइलेबल हामीलाई भइरहेको छ कुनै पर्टिकुलर भेरी स्पेसिफिक कसैको अब एकदमै लेटेस्ट पब्लिकेसनहरू चाहियो भने त हामी पर्सनली अब अथरलाई रिक्वेस्ट गरेर त्यसरी गर्ने त्यो गरिएको छ पर्सनल लेभलमा र अफिसियली भेरी भ्यालिड सोर्स अफ इन्फर्मेसन हाम्रो लागि अहिलेको भनेको हिनारी अगोरा रिसर्च फर प्लस रिसर्च फर लाइफ यिनीहरू छ यिनीहरूबाट हामीले अक्वायर गरिरहेका छौँ अरूहरूसित जस्तो एल्जिबियरहरू छ स्प्रिङरहरू छ नेचर के अरे यिनीहरूसित अफिसियल त्यो भइसकेको छैन हाइली कस्टली पनि भएको हुनाले उहाँहरूको जो ओपन सोर्सहरू छ त्यसमा प्रब्लम भएन अरूहरूमा चाहिँ अलिकति अब डलरमा पे गर्नुपर्ने युनिभर्सिटीलाई अलिक बढी नै मार पर्ने हुनाले पर्सनल लेभलको सब्सक्रिप्सन चाहिँ अहिलेसम्म भएको छैन
सर अब केही एक दुईवटा म जोडेर मेरो क्वेसन चाहिँ सक्छु जुन अघि हजुरले जोड्नु भएको थियो त्यो सेन्ट्रल इन्स्ट्रुमेन्टल ल्याबोरेटरी अथवा रिसर्च फेसिलिटी भएको जोड्ने त्यो चाहिँ पोखरा युनिभर्सिटी अथवा पोखरामै अहिले बनिरहेको गण्डकी युनिभर्सिटी र केही अरू इन्स्टिट्युसन पनि मिलेर त्यो प्रदेशकै ठुलो बन्ने गरेर संरचना बन्ने मुभमेन्टमा हो या पियुले चाहिँ इन्डिपेन्डेन्टली सानो आफ्नै रिसर्च फेसिलिटी मात्र बनाउने हो एउटा त्यो र पछिल्लो समय हजुर प्लान्टमै पनि काम गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ नेपालमा स्ट्रक्चर इल्युसिडेसन अथवा अर्गानिक सिन्थेसिसको काम चाहिँ मैले थाहा नपाएको हो कि त्यो देखिँदैन हैन त्यो तरिकामा देश मुभै नभए हो कि त्यसलाई कसरी शिफ्ट गर्न सकेला सर त्यो कुरामा चाहिँ
अगेन थ्याङ्क यू फर द ब्रिलियन्ट क्वेसन अर्ग्यानिक सिन्थेसिसको उसमा जान्छु म त्यो ठ्याक्कै मलाई पनि नलेज छैन हैन टु बी अनेस्ट अब त्यो सेक्टरको रिसर्चरहरूलाई प्रोफेसरहरूलाई बढी थाहा होला तर जहाँसम्म लाग्छ त्यस्तो एकदमै रोबस्ट फेसिलिटी छ जस्तो मलाई पर्सनली पनि लागेको छैन तर कतै भइरहेको हुनसक्छ हामीलाई थाहा नभएको मात्रै हुनसक्छ त्यसको लागि अर्को भनेको सेन्ट्रल रिसर्च फेसिलिटीको लागि चाहिँ अहिले पोखरा युनिभर्सिटी हामी आफैले चाहिँ हामीसित भएको जति पनि ल्याबहरू छ पोखरा युनिभर्सिटीको कन्स्टिट्युएन्ट क्याम्पसहरूमा हाम्रो रेगुलर प्रोग्रामहरूको लागि केही न केही ल्याबहरू त चाहिन्छ टेक्निकल प्रोग्राम भएको हुनाले ती ल्याबहरू जेनरल ल्याबको रूपमा एस्टाब्लिस भएको छ अनि त्यो ल्याबहरूमा थोरै हामीले इन्भेस्टमेन्ट गऱ्यौँ भने त्यसलाई चाहिँ के अरे रिसर्च ल्याबमा कन्भर्ट गर्न सकिन्छ त्यो भएको हुनाले त्यो ल्याबहरूलाई स्ट्रेन्थन गर्ने र त्यसको रेगुलेसन त्यसको मोनिटरिङ भनेको अलिकति सिस्टमेटिक हिसाबले सेन्ट्रली गर्ने ताकि त्यो ल्याबहरू के अरे एकपटक सञ्चालनमा आउने त्यस पछाडि फेरि भताभतामा आउने त्यस्तो होइन कि त्यहाँ चाहिँ एक्टिभिटीहरू रिसर्चको एक्टिभिटीहरू फ्रिक्वेन्टली भइरहेको त्यसलाई यसरी डेभलप गर्ने कि पोखरा युनिभर्सिटी भरिको के अरे हाम्रो कन्स्टिट्युएन्टको मात्रै होइन रिसर्चर माइट ह्याभ टु पे नोमिनल फिज होइन जस्तो अरू एफिलिएटेड क्याम्पसको स्टुडेन्ट पियुको हाम्रो फेसिलिटीमा आएर काम गर्न इन्ट्रेस्ट हो भने उसले अब तोकिएको शुल्कहरू तिर्ला हामीले फेसिलिटी गराइदिन सक्छौँ त्यो चाहिँ सेन्ट्रलाइज्ड किसिमको सिस्टम बनाउने भन्ने किसिमको कुरा भएको छ अनि यसमा कोलाबोरेसनको कुरो अब गण्डकी युनिभर्सिटी पोटेन्सियल हुनसक्छ त्रिभुवन युनिभर्सिटीको क्याम्पसेसहरू पोटेन्सियल हुनसक्छ र गण्डकी अहिले पोखरामा एउटा जी पास्ट भन्ने पनि बनेको छ गण्डकी प्रोभिन्सियल एकाडेमी अफ साइन्स एन्ड टेक्नोलोजी त्योसित पनि हामी जान सक्यौँ भने एउटा राम्रो पक्ष त्यो हुनसक्छ अब एकै ठाउँमा सबै फेसिलिटी कन्डेन्स गर्नुभन्दा पनि पोखरा युनिभर्सिटीले सर्टेन स्पेसलाइज ल्याबोरेटरीहरू बनाउला र गण्डकी युनिभर्सिटीले अर्को किसिमको ल्याबोरेटरीहरू बनायो भने विदिन द इन्स्टिच्युट हामीले चाहिँ रिसोर्स सेयरिङ गर्न सक्छौँ त्यो किसिमको कन्सेप्टहरूमा हाम्रो छलफल भइरहेको छ अब कहिले हामी सेन्ट्रल ल्याबको इनागुरेसन फेजमा पुग्छौँ अहिले मैले ठ्याक्क चाहिँ भन्न सक्दिनँ बट वी आर डुइङ वेरी हार्ड टु वर्क अन दिस लाइन थ्याङ्क यू
हुन्छ सर मेरो क्वेसन केही पनि छैन यी सबै क्वेसनको समराइजको हामी विद्यार्थी र टिचर बीच हुनपर्ने एउटा संयोजन र विशेष गरेर हाम्रा पब्लिक प्रोपर्टीका गभर्मेन्टका क्याम्पसहरूमा जो पोलिटिकल इन्फ्लुएन्स हुन्छ अब ती जो पोलिटिक्स गर्ने स्टुडेन्ट हुन् तिनीहरूको दिमागमा पनि रिसर्च गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने एजेन्डा राख्ने मुभमेन्टमा चाहिँ टिचरहरूले कसरी इनिसिएटिभ लिन्छन् कतिपय कुरामा टिचर विद्यार्थीको डिस्टेन्स चाहिँ घट्नु राम्रो हो होइन अझै सेयरिङ होला त त्यो घटाइले अनइथिकल प्र्याक्टिस हुने टिचर विद्यार्थी बीचका ती राजनीतिक मुभमेन्टतिर जाने र एजुकेसनल इन्भाइरोमेन्टमै डिस्टर्ब गराउने खालका विद्यार्थीमा पनि एउटा नैतिकता चरित्रता विकास गरेर रिसर्च चाहिँ जरुरी छ है भन्ने हुटुटी उनीहरूमा पैदा गर्न सक्यो भने उत्तम होला सर लागिरहनु भएको छ धेरै धन्यवाद शुभकामना छ सर हजुरलाई
थ्याङ्क यू सो मच धेरैजी तपाईँहरूको इन्टायर टिमलाई धेरै धन्यवाद सम्झिनु भयो
जयन्तीजी हुन्छ हजुर अब हामी धेरै समय नलिउँ लामो भइसक्यो क्लोज गरौँ
हस् थ्याङ्क यू सो मच
एकैछिन सर हजुर
अब हामी कार्यक्रमको अन्त्यमा आइसकेका छौँ फेरि पनि म आदरणीय गुरु एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर डाक्टर नमराज धामीज्यूलाई हाम्रो निम्ति स्वीकार गरेर पाल्नु भएको र ट्रान्सफर्मेसन अफ रिसर्च कल्चर इन पोखरा युनिभर्सिटी नेपालको बारेमा जानकारी गराइदिनु भएकोमा हामी सबैजना उहाँप्रति आभार व्यक्त गर्दछौँ यसको साथै अब म आजको कार्यक्रमलाई समापन गरिदिनु हुन संसिकको सभापति श्री दीर्घराज जोशीज्यूलाई अनुरोध गर्न चाहन्छु
धन्यवाद जयन्तीजी फेरि पनि नमराज सरलाई धेरै धन्यवाद हामी गत हप्ता नै यो कार्यक्रम गर्ने भनेका थियौँ हाम्रो अर्को कार्यक्रमले गर्दा जुधेर सरलाई अनुरोध गरेर सिफ्ट गर्यौँ आज चाडबाडको दिन भएकोले धेरैले यहाँ प्राइभेट मेसेज गर्नुभएको छ यो टाइममा कार्यक्रम राखेर हामी एटेन्ड गर्न सकेनौँ भनेर उहाँहरूलाई पनि म क्षमा माग्छु। त्यही भएर यो अनलाइन लाइभमा छ, लाइभमा हेरिरहनु भएको छ र युट्युबमा डिपोजिट हुन्छ। सरको स्लाइड पनि हामी लिएर हाम्रो वेबसाइटमा पनि राख्ने हुँदा त्यसैले त्यो रिसोर्स ट्र्याक गरिदिनु होला सबैले। र विशेष गरेर हामी जस्तो डेभलपमेन्टको प्रोसेसमा सिफ्ट भइरहेका कन्ट्रीहरूमा रिसर्चमा अझै इथिकल प्र्याक्टिस होस् र नयाँ युवाहरू चाहिँ त्यो फिल्डमा बढी जागृत भएर लागुन् र सिनियरहरूले प्रोपर गाइड गर्न सकुन्। बाहिरबाट आएका हाम्रा जति पनि स्कलरहरू छन् उनीहरूले सही बाटोमा ट्र्याक बसाल्न सक्यो भने, एकचोटि जग बस्यो भने त्यसपछि गाडी कुदाउन सजिलो हुन्छ। त्यसैले त्यो अहम भूमिकामा आज सर हुनुहुन्छ पोखरा विश्वविद्यालयमा। आशा छ पोखरा विश्वविद्यालय एउटा फाउन्डेसन राम्रो बनाओस् र अरू युनिभर्सिटीले पनि त्यहाँको मोडेललाई सिकेर अरू विश्वविद्यालयले अपनाउन् र देशका लागि एक मोडेल बन्न सकोस्। त्यसका लागि पनि शुभकामना दिँदै फेरि पनि सरलाई धेरै धन्यवाद दिँदै आजको कार्यक्रम यहीँ समापन भएको जानकारी गराउँछु। धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद, तपाईँहरूलाई धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद। फेरि हामी अब चाहिँ क्लोज